So as promised, quick succession of videos. This is a recap on the rebuild of Mini Mojo, which is the Sun Odessey 32.2 that I bought back in November before I left to go to the Caribbean. So originally she was listed at £38,500. I put in a cheeky offer, 32.5, thinking it sort of wouldn't be accepted, but knowing that it needed quite a lot of work doing, and as always happens, there was substantially a lot more work than I thought that was involved in getting her up to scratch again. A lot of the work I did myself. I did get a few people to do various sort of jobs for me, but yeah, it took effectively I had a budget of £6,000, which is what I'd sort of chipped off the price, and in the end it ended up being quite a bit more, probably closer to 10. But we have got a great boat, so I'm pleased about that. So in terms of the substantial works that we did, we had the keel bolts refurbished that were quite rusty, and I was a bit concerned about them, so I had a surveyor look at them, and he gave me an outline of the work that we needed to do on those. Standing rigging was the original when it was built, so about 20 years old, so we replaced the standing rigging for the mast. Again, the upholstery was 20 years old, so I had a local upholsterer here redo all the upholstery. I wanted a Type B transponder on the boat, so that when I was going around the UK, boats would be able to see me on AIS, and I would also be able to see them. So I've got a transponder and a receiver. So I put in a new B&G VHF. Which has a built-in transponder and receiver in it, so that was quite expensive. So those four alone were about 7.5k, so I'd already blown my 6k by then anyway. And in addition to the other bits that I wasn't sort of expecting to do, I rebuilt the masthead when the mast was down, so put a new tricolour light on the top of the mast as the old one was knackered, put a new antenna up. I had to have the electronic wind sensor at the top of the mast, had to have the bearings replaced and it refurbished. I put a new radio in, a Fusion radio in, which is Bluetooth on it. I also, the chart plotter wasn't working either on the boat, so I had to buy a second-hand chart plotter on eBay and install that. Put new interior lights in, they're all LED lights, so they don't take as much power. I also put a new set of speakers in the boat, and the other big expense, I bought a new Rockner anchor. The anchor on it was really insubstantial, and if I was going to be anchoring around the UK, I don't want to be anchoring on a small dodgy anchor, so I bought a new Rockner anchor, and also the bow roller was broken and wasn't the right shape anyway for the Rockner anchor, so I had that rebuilt by some local welders, and they did a fantastic job on that. You can see in the video. I later found out also that the bilge pump wasn't working, so I had to replace that, and I also found a whole load of water in the bilge when I tried to run the pressurized water system in the boat, and it turned out that the pre-filter on the pressurized water system was broken, and basically it was pumping water not out of the taps into the sinks, but actually into the boat itself. So there's a whole load of water that formed in there, so I had to seek that out and fix that as well. So that's basically an outline, but here's a few videos of the work as it sort of progresses through the various sort of stages. So hope you enjoy. So here we are, we're back at the boatyard, and the mast has actually gone up, so we've got new standing rigging, and I put the running rigging in as well. So when I left them, they've put the mast back up, and yeah, we've got all new standing rigging, which is good. So yeah, we've got a bit of a mission going on at the moment. See, it's a bit of a mess out here, just sorting everything out, but inside the boat looks like a complete bomb site. So it's in a full work mode. So where do we start? There's a lot more work to do on this boat than I thought when I first looked at it. So this is the fore cabin. I've actually taken off, you see this is the vinyl, foam backed vinyl that they've kitted out when it was new, and it's absolutely minging. Yeah, it's got mould all over it, so I've actually peeled it off this side, ordered some new stuff, made a template of where it needs to go, and I'm going to revarnish all the wood. Let's take this wardrobe out that was in the corner here. Yeah, I'm just going to peel this other side off now. It actually comes off pretty easily because it is pretty rank. And then I basically just need to clean up the sides. Brought a sander with me today. I'm not sure I'm going to need it. I think it'll probably scrape off. And then I've also brought some acetone with me as well to tidy it all up. And then cut the templates out at home of the other one. I'm going to take this home, cut the templates out for this, and then it's fixed it on with sort of spray adhesive glue, contact adhesive. So you spray both sides and then you just press it on. So I'm hoping it won't be too difficult, although it is a bit of an odd shape. So I've been careful about doing that. I'm replacing the lights as well. These lights are a bit minging. Don't really like those. And yeah, in here I'm taking some of these bits back home to revarnish them, because it's a lot easier to revarnish them at home. The guy is busy doing the keel bolts. So he's already taken this one out, and the actual bolt has come out complete. The stud has come out completely, so I'm a bit confused about that. These are the other ones that he's had to go at, which he's cleaning up. And you can see those studs are still in there, so I'm not sure whether the studs are supposed to come out or not. And this is then one that hasn't started at all, so I've had to have the washers manufactured. Nobody had them in size, so I had them specially manufactured and then galvanised, because these need to be mild steel. But these rusty keel bolts were a bit of a concern, so I asked a surveyor to have a look at them, and he's given me a recommendation of how to basically sort them, but he doesn't think they're anything structural or anything like that, so not too much to worry about. Where else to start? It's got lots of stuff going on. I'm going to take I need to do something with this mechanism here, because this rope is absolutely minging, and it's the mechanism for bringing up the swing keel, and also this is pretty grim here. So I'm going to try and take the cladding off that, take it home. It's always much easier when I go and varnish stuff at home. I'm going to take the table leaf off as well, try and take that home. So, and there's the electrics that I need to reconnect from the mast that they've done. I did label them all when I took them all down. So yeah, hopefully I might push those through, because I've got a bit of a leakage coming through where they come through. And then yeah, some of these pretty grim fittings I'm going to get rid of as well. So yeah, lots of work. I think once I've got these keel bolts done, I'm going to take out this piping down here and renew the piping, because that looks pretty minging. And I think when the piping's out, the other thing I'll do is probably just flow coat the bilges to try and tidy them up a bit. I think it's a worthwhile thing to do. So yeah, I'll have a go at that. Cushions have been remade at home, so they look pretty dandy. And then I just need to test everything really to make sure everything works. I replaced the VHF on the masthead, rebuilt the masthead, and also replaced the tricolour light on the masthead, both of which were absolutely knackered. And then I've got a new radio that I'm going to fit in. Quite where, I'm not sure. There's obviously one here. Yeah, not sure where I'm going to fit it. That's basically going. That thing there can go because that is to do with the old TV aerial. So if I pull that out, that can all go. And yeah, all a bit confusing, but yeah. And then I've got a new VHF which a guy has arranged to fit for me, yeah, and then a remote handset as well. So yeah, quite a bit to do. So yeah, better get on. See, make some progress. So here's a picture of the keel belts I had made by Ian Bacon. I can highly recommend them if you need any specialist metalwork doing locally. I'm just on with this job here, which is replacing these clutches. Some of them are actually sort of UV damaged and they're cracked. So I'm putting some new ones on, and who's ever put this stuff on originally has used it's like a sort of Sikaflex that they've used to seal these holes, but when I went online it suggests you use butyl tape, which is like sort of putty, which is what I've got. So I'm just cleaning up these holes. An absolute bloody mission. I've been at it about an hour now, trying to get rid of all the old mastic, which is all gunged up on the holes. But yeah, the holes are supposed to be just a little bit sort of tapered at the for the bolt head, and then make the butyl tape into sausages and put it around the screw ends here. And then when you pull them down through the boat, they compact into the holes, and they're supposed to be waterproof. And that's what you're supposed to use for this. But I don't know whether it was Jano, but these are the originals. But yeah, they've used that Sikaflex, I think. So yeah, see how we get on. So here's my workshop at home. This is work in progress. I brought much of the teak work back home, as you can see, and the more I can do at home, the easier it is, to be honest. It's warm here, so the varnish dries properly. So I'm using this Epifun varnish, and the process is quite long-winded. You have to have 3 coats of the clear varnish, and each time you sand it down with 240 or 400 grade sandpaper, so pretty fine stuff, then revarnish it. So you revarnish it 3 times with the clear, and then I finish it off with a rubbed effect. I just think it makes it not so blingy when you finished it, and it does actually look really nice. So these ones here, I'm about halfway through. I've finished some of the floorboards earlier on, and this here is underneath the V-berth at the front. There'd been some water ingress on the, I think it's probably the starboard side, where it had sort of rotted the plywood base. So I've had to recut one out of 12mm ply. Pretty sure it's not marine ply because it's not structural. Yeah, then varnish it all up. So that I've been doing, and that goes with that bit down there, which is the rest of the V-berth. So yeah, work in progress, and yeah, it's looking nice and shiny. Yeah, so here's a picture of the original Bruce style anchor, which you can also see the side is actually broken on the anchor roller, so I had that replaced and eBayed the old one. This is the propeller that the boat came with. I had to do a bit of research. It's a Brunton 2-blade auto prop. Yeah, this is the old Icon VHF, which I successfully managed to sell on eBay for 157 quid, so a contribution to funds. Yeah, this is a new 15K Rockner, and you can see it's sitting on the bow roller, and the bow roller isn't big enough to, far enough forward to accommodate it. It's always exciting when new boxes arrive. This is the new B&G V60 VHF, and the antenna splitter ready to go in the boat. So there's the 9 kg Bruce style old anchor that I managed to sell on eBay for 25 quid. So another contribution to funds. Yeah, so I'm down at the boat again. Just a quick update on some of the stuff that I've been working on. I'm just going to turn the camera around. So taking out the old VHF, and I bought a new one, which is actually here waiting to go in. And clearly it's not the right size, so I've just had to make a backing plate for it. Unfortunately it still won't fit in the wooden hole, so I need to jigsaw that out a bit to make sure it's big enough. I've installed new Fusion radio Bluetooth in here. The green stuff is the masking tape for the acrylic plastic that I've backed it with, so that will come off, but that's actually working. There's one speaker that's not working for some reason, but the speakers are pretty naff, to be honest, so I'm likely to change that, and I'll resolve that at that stage. So I've got all the lining off the fore cabin. Looks a bit of a mess, but it's ascertained it all, cleaned it all, demolded it all, so that's ready to go on. So hopefully if it's a nice day tomorrow, I'm going to try and do that tomorrow. Taking the carpet up, which was silicone down here. It was an absolute mission to get it off, and I've varnished, and all the varnish work in this fore cabin, so once the lining, head lining goes back up, I can get all the woodwork back in place, and yeah, it'll look pretty smart pretty quickly, hopefully. Done all the electrics for the mast and checked that everything works. The tricolour works, the anchor light works, and the steaming light works. Left the VHF just hanging here waiting for the guys coming next Monday to fit the VHF, so I'll see if he wants to run that cable right the way through to the electric table, so we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, that's probably more or less about it for the moment. It's enough to keep me busy. Priorities are sorting out the fore cabin. I'm not going to bother with the back cabin at the moment because it's actually not too bad. If I just give it a nice clean, I think it'll work out fine, the back cabin. I'll replace the carpet, which is pretty minging, but apart from that, I think I'll just live with the back cabin for the moment. And yeah, put some new cabin lights in as well, which I got the other day, which are yeah, so those cabin lights are new, that one and that one, and I've got some new lights for reading lights for the saloon as well, so I'm going to put all that. I won't wait until I get the fore cabin sorted out before I can put all those up. So still a bit of mess, lots to do, and yeah, I haven't got much time really because thinking it through, I'm here the rest of this week, next week, then I'm away skiing, then we're back in Antigua, come back, and I'll have probably about a week before the boat will actually get launched, so I need to get a wiggle on with everything really. So yeah, do as much as I can before I go. So there you are. Yeah, these winches were very poorly fitted, and they leaked really badly on both sides, so I had to take them out and refit them. I brought these two winches back to do some work on, service them. It's easy to do it at home, so I'm just taking a photo because knowing me, I'll forget how they go together. So there's a little retaining screw in here, and that basically drops down centre there and goes in there. So this basically fits on here like that, and then changing screw goes on top of that like that. So that's broadly speaking how that works. So that has to come out, that goes on there, and there's another bit that pops out there on top. So that's that bit there. Looks like there's some springs under here with 4 screws, so I'll just take those off, clean them and give them probably a spray with some WD-40. And then in terms of the main sort of gubbins, there's a black plastic collar sits on here. I'll put that down there in the right order, and then these, which are pretty gunked up to be honest, they need a good clean. That's going to go there, and then we've got this mechanism down the bottom here, so I can't actually see how that comes out of here, but it may be that it's just a pin at the bottom that pushes out, so we'll see how that works, and then I can get the should be able to get the screws out as well. Yeah, I need to reposition these on the boat as well, so yeah, clean it all off, give it a spray with petrol, and then I've got some winch grease coming tomorrow, so I'll get them all greased up and put back together again to take back down again, put back on. This is a bit of a progress report. I'm back down at the boat again. So as you can see, the radio is in and working. Not sure if you can hear it in the background. Got the new VHF on, which has a AIS transceiver in it. I'm waiting for the electrician to come on Monday just to wire that up and test it all, but I've positioned it all. I've got the remote set up as well, so I'm ready for him to come and sort those out. And the front cabin, Heidi and I did the lining at Wednesday, so this is now Friday. So I've just brought the cushions down and I put back up the shelf. I need to put the wardrobe back in on this corner, then put the shelf that's down there up on there, put the board in the back. I've got a few, and then I've got a carpet which I've cut to go in the bottom here, and then basically put the door back on, and I am done. We'll see how I've actually got the lighting to do as well. So did all the put some new speakers in today. The other ones were a bit knackered and sounded pretty crap, to be honest. And I bought this wire off eBay to run the speakers from, and it's absolutely fucking rubbish. It's hopeless. I used it, and I don't know if it is the quality of the copper in it or whatever, but the sound was absolutely rubbish. So I recycled the old speaker cables, and much better. So I don't know what's going on with that. Just put that in the bin. It's not always, it only cost me £7, but there you go. So yeah, and what else? Taking the winches off out here. See, we've filled the holes here, and there was a bit of a funny setup with how they'd put the holes on there. Got new chocks on both sides. Yeah, I've done this side for the winch as well, taking the winches home, dismantled them, greasing and oiling them, get them all sorted. So yeah, getting there, and I've just given the boat a really nice clean. So it's looks pretty dandy at the moment. So now I've got the boat cleaned, I can have a look at potentially doing the running rigging as well. Put the running rigging back in. I didn't want to do it because the deck was absolutely filthy, but yeah, now I've done that, and I have actually power washed. I don't think you're supposed to, but I power washed the teak to see how it comes off and get some of the worst of the dirt off, but I will sand it and treat it as well. So yeah, I think running rigging is probably next on the agenda. Get the boom up and get the running rigging going. I'm back on the boat. I'm just trying to refit these winches, and I have, well, in fact, Adi the other day filled the old holes, so they're too far back downstairs. and just countersunk these new holes and put the winches in place. So I'm now going to gel coat this to the side. Looks a bit like a patchwork quilt, but we've bunged up the other holes, and I'm going to try and gel coat the worst of it that may be visual. So I'm going to try and mix up some gel coat. I think the weather's okay for it, so keep fingers crossed, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. So this is my repair kit that I bought. It's got this gel coat in the tub. It's got a little syringe, which is quite helpful. And this is the hardener that you add to. They've also provided some acetone, but I've got loads of acetone anyway. So I've never really done this before. I always left Michelle to do it, but there are some instructions with it as well. It does actually say on the instructions, don't guess, which is the typical thing that I would do normally, guess the quantities for mixing. But basically this mixes with 2 millilitres of that, which I think is what they've sent there. So, but they've got a syringe to measure it with. So I'm not sure I need all of it, so I'm going to do half of it, and then see how I get on with that. So I'm going to take 50 grams of this and add 1 millilitre of hardener and then mix it up. See how I get on. So I'll show you the results when they're finished. And I have bought a set of kitchen scales just to measure it out because it said don't guess, and I got my nice nitrile gloves on as well. So yeah, I'll have a go and see how we get on. Yeah, this is the end result, which I was really pleased with because it's hidden the old holes quite well, and we just got left with the holes for mounting the winch on. And there we are, port and starboard side winches. You can see they hide the original holes really well, so I'm dead pleased with that. Yeah, and here's some footage of the fore cabin when I got it all rebuilt with the upholstery, and yeah, I'm really pleased with the results. New lighting, new carpet in there. So yeah, it looks really good. And then Megan helped me with the lining as well, sewing. So, whilst I've been away, this has arrived, which is a Timo electric outboard. I did a bit of research on the internet. Got this, shopped around a little bit. I think it was about $13.50. So quite expensive. Equivalent is 2 horsepower. The equivalent in a petrol Suzuki 2.5 is about sort of 600 to 700 quid, so it's about twice the price, but it's electric, very lightweight. So let's just unpack it and see what we've got in here. It's supposed to pack up very, very small. So that I think is a carrying bag. And I think it's telescopic as well. So basically, the idea is you take it to the beach, take it off the boat, put it in this bag, and then sling it over your shoulder and go to the restaurant with it. So no chance of it getting stolen, which certainly in the Caribbean where thefts are more common is quite useful. So the box it came in, it's quite well packed. And yeah, it's quite heavy, but I suppose there's some mechanism in there. And it's telescopic as well. So basically got a propeller at the end there. There's a little control at this end, which presumably is your go, and then there's a safety thing on there as well. And just on the top here, I think this is like a bar which shows you how well it's charged. It looks also as if this is the bit that sort of extends it. And I think this bit here has a through fitting which fits on the transom of the outboard. So all in all, that looks, yeah, I mean it's, gosh, I don't know how much it actually weighs. I'll have to look at the spec, but it's quite heavy, but lighter than an outboard presumably. It's a plug, presumably for the charger. I'm guessing in here, this box here, I'm guessing is the charger. So what we got in here? Well, got some instructions. Anybody who knows me will know I'm not really good at those. I'm more of a push up and see what happens chap. There's a lanyard, presumably is for securing it. And there's this bit here. Screwed onto the transom, and I think it'll go on like that, and then the thing pops in there. So I'll put that on later. And this, I think, yeah, this is the charger. So, okay, so that's why they've added that for the UK market, because that's what it comes with, which is a European plug. So they've obviously thrown that in. So this AC to DC charger can then charge the unit. So it's interesting to see that whether it's come actually charged, because I would have thought that it would work straight away. Yeah. So I'm not sure. I think I need to charge it. I don't even know how it charges even. So yeah, perhaps I do need to read the instructions, carry a bit later, but yeah, quite pleased with that. Pack it away and see how we get on. Yeah, so here I am back down at Lymington again, a couple of days before splash day. So this morning I have anti-fouled bottom, so that's looking all good. A bit undecided about the prop. Got a new anode on the prop. The prop seems to move fairly well. The bearings don't look that bad, so I'm sort of inclined just to give it a quick wire wool and leave it at that. Took the push bit off at the back, which was leaking, and sealed all that. So yeah, I think we're in fairly good shape. We'll need to do the sign writing, which I should do when I come down on Thursday. Taking the letters off the back. Quite got it good enough to put the lettering on, but not bad. I need to get the signage off the front up here, which is still on, so I need to get that off on Thursday. So that's my job for Thursday, but yeah, all in all, pretty pleased with the anti-fouling. Takes the pressure off, and we should be on good shape for Friday for going back in the water, which will be a bit of a landmark. Yeah, so I removed the old boat lettering, sanded it down, T-cutted it, and put the new name on, which was, yeah, looks really good. I'm really pleased with it. Right, so here we are, back in Lymington again. Today is splash day, and over there is the hoist. They're supposed to have picked me up half an hour ago. Still got somebody in the slings there. So I've got the kit here to do the anti-fouling, the patches and the keel when they hold it. This morning I shined up the prop and the shaft. I was going to change the bearings, but it seems as if they work okay, so I decided to leave that as it is. So we're pretty much ready to go. This is the new anchor mount that the chaps fabricated for me, which I'm absolutely delighted with. It's a really good job, really good job. So the rocker fits in there absolutely perfectly. There's a retaining pin to keep it in place, and yeah, it looks like the dog's bollocks. Really happy with that. So yeah, anti-fouling's all done. Repaired one of the stanchions was bent, and they re-welded that for me and straightened it. That one I think is a little bit bent, but I'm not sure what to do with that. Anyway, we are as ready as we can be. So here they are, they've arrived. Just straightening out. Before they put the straps on and lift. they're just putting the straps on now. And the lifter off the cradle. I reckon the front one's tight. Back one's going up now. And there she goes, off the cradle into the air. And there she is, on her way. So we've got half an hour while they go for their lunch to finish the anti-fouling and put a new lifting strap on the swing keel. Not quite sure how we're going to do that, but we'll have a go when we're there. Yeah, this is the bilge pump, which I found totally defective. It was actually broken and didn't work at all, so I had to replace that. Yeah, this is the exciting bit. During the course of replacing the bilge pump, I managed to actually drill a hole through the side of the boat with water coming in, so this is my impromptu repair. So here's a few images of the boat once it was in the water and completed. We are on our virgin trip out on the Solent, just having some sea trials on the boat. We've got the crew, Zadie and Pat. So, yeah, we haven't got very much wind.
Total madness.
We haven't got much wind, and pull the jib in so we can motor over to Newton Creek. We've got Yarmouth in the background there, and Leamington behind us. But a beautiful day out on the Solent.